Hi everyone, and welcome back to my channel. Now you might have seen this colouring page on my last video. I've literally just finished filming it, so I thought why not do my whip of the week. Whip of the week, because I don't think I've done one for this week. I think I missed it, and we're literally right at the end of the week now. We are currently Friday. Now, just in case you're wondering and you did miss my previous video, I'm using Albert Dürer watercolour pencils. And instead of using these colours to do the flowers, because you saw that in the last video, I will switch over and start colouring the leaves. Just with something different for you to look at. I'll just do the background off camera because it's going to take me quite some time. Oh, excuse me. Yep, just keeping it real here. Just keeping it real. It's because I'm drinking cider. I'm drinking Thatcher's blood orange cider, sweet and juicy, and it's lovely. It's Friday night, so I'm allowed to. It's currently 22 minutes past 9, and I haven't had a chance to film. I didn't have a chance yesterday because I wasn't feeling well again, and then I was out in the morning, and then in the afternoon I ended up watching a film and halfway falling asleep instead of filming like I said I was going to do. Let me just pick out the colours. So I think for my lightest one I want cobalt green, and then I want, how do you pronounce that? Oh, cobalt. Cobalt turquoise, and then the darkest one I want the Prussian blue. I'm just doing the same technique as what I did, and I go into a lot more detail what I do with these pencils in that video. In case you are curious, I'm just going to sharpen just before I start. I'm not very organised, am I? Yeah, so I did plan on doing this whip of the week, colouring chat, whatever you want to call it, yesterday after I'd got, because yesterday morning I went out with my lovely friend Kirsty from Kirsty Colouring Sketch. She came round, we switched some, I'm going to bring you in a little bit more. We switched some diamond paintings, well, one diamond painting we swapped. And if you're watching this, Kirsty, have you tried them pens out? And if you do you like them? Because I forgot to ask you. And then we went out and had some breakfast, and I did a bit of shopping, snipped into just our local shops, and I got a couple of new lamps for my room, and I got this dog's toy for Rolo, and it suctions to the floor, and it's got like, it's called a liquor pad or something, and you put food on it and it keeps them entertained for ages, and she loves it. So that's what I bought. I'm not going to switch over. I nearly did that then. Where's my aqua brush? There it is. Yes, it is the evening and I'm filming, and I've got my pyjamas on. I've had a nice bath. Finally come up after sorting Isabel out. I managed to catch a little bit of a laughing on camera when I was filming this tutorial, and I had to mute the camera, and then 2 seconds later she was fast asleep. Sod's law, isn't it? Sod's law. But today I've had a mega busy day today. I feel like I've not had a second. I've not even left the house. So I ended up having my video consultation with the fertility, that doctor, the high up doctor. Now it was that specific doctor that actually agreed to do IVF for Isabel, so it's weird talking to him. And he said, I spoke to you last time in September, why have you not like come into the clinic? I said literally every single month I've had something on. I was ill, my daughter was ill, and then just something happened every single month, and I've not managed all. And then she was off school and I couldn't get up there because it's like, how long did it take us to drive there? About 45 minutes. My mother-in-law took me. So it's not obviously feasible when I've got Isabel home and I'm not feeling well. I don't want to be in the car and get my mother-in-law ill. So it turns out, to cut the very long story short, I think I spoke about it in my last whip of the week, about the tube being missing. Now it turns out, and I'm still certain that someone's told us something wrong, but what can you do? what can you do? Because I've got scars on my right side of my body, but apparently it's the left hand side fallopian tube that I had removed 8-9 years ago when I got pregnant with twins and they got stuck in the tube. Apparently it was the left hand side, which me and my husband are still convinced that it's the right hand side. I've even got scars to prove it, but what can you do? So yeah, so that's not there, but he said that the right one is severely damaged and it is swollen and it is leaking TMI, leaking liquid into my womb, and that might be another reason that it's causing me pain every single month. So yeah, he's referring me back to the original doctor to start the process of having surgery. Now, we're not going to be able to do that until at least the end of this year with everything that we've got going on. And I imagine the waiting list is going to be huge anyway, so you know, it is what it is. I've said that so many times today to 3 different people. It is what it is. You've just got to learn to live with it. So yeah, it's just a waiting game now. I've got to wait for the letter to come through, like the referral, and then go back and see this other doctor and find out when I'll have it done. But that'll be nice. That'll be nice. So not only will they take the tube out, the remaining one, they will fix this lump that's being caused by the endometriosis. Now, I can't start the medication for the endometriosis until we've completely and utterly decided. Excuse me, I'm going to sneeze. It's gone. It's gone. I can't start that medication until we've decided what we're doing. And we can't decide what we're doing because we need the adaptations and the house to be sorted for Isabel, and then we'll fully understand what life is going to be like looking after her for the rest of my life, our life. So unfortunately, I've always said that I didn't want kids past 30, and I had Isabel. How old am I now? I had Isabel when I was 29, but obviously circumstances change, and at the moment I don't know what left is, I don't know what right is, I don't know what day of the week it is half of the time. Oh, the other thing that came from the fertility doctor is I had to have my bloods done, and you have to have all these different tests, I mean all sorts of tests. And I will say, the woman that took my blood, she was absolutely fabulous. I had no bruises and it didn't hurt, it was just the thought of it that I didn't like. But it turns out that I'm extremely, and he made it a point to say that, extremely vitamin, was it D or B? I think it was D. Got it up on my phone. Deficient. He said, do you go out a lot? Well, no, I'm a stay-at-home wife. I do YouTube, don't I? And then apart from nipping out and going shopping and going out of a weekend, especially with the weather that we've got, I don't really go anywhere. So it might be down to that. But as soon as he said that, he was asking me all these other questions like, are you feeling tired all the time? And I said, yeah, well, I was just putting that down to the fact that, you know, my kid doesn't sleep. My kid doesn't sleep. And he said, well, no, it could be to do with the lack of vitamins. So he's recommended me to phone my GP and get some extra strong supplement tablets. So I did that straight away, rang up, and we are currently Friday, and I managed to get an appointment for next Friday. Next Friday, a telephone appointment at that. So I'll have to explain to the doctor what this doctor said, because apparently the referral letter, it's quicker for me doing it than them waiting for a referral letter. Don't know if that's true, but hey ho. Talking about Isabel, we sent a urine sample in because she's currently, constantly actually, suffering from urine infections, and they asked for a sample, which I'm not going to go into too much detail, but you can imagine getting a urine sample from a disabled child that's wearing nappies. It's not fun. It's not fun. It's probably one of the lowest things that I've ever had to do. But yeah, they ran me back today, the doctors. Well, it was the receptionist, and she said, you need to make an appointment with the nurse to speak over Isabel's results. And I said to her, well, why can't you just tell me over the phone? The doctors just said you have to make an appointment with the nurse, so it can't be that serious. If I have to wait, I have to wait now till Wednesday to speak to this nurse about the results. So that should be interesting. And then I had, there you go, my video's finished thing. I have to pause in a minute and then get that uploaded. I had an appointment with a lady from direct payments, which the direct payments, it's meant to be like sort of respite, but you have to prove that it's benefiting the child. And Isabel was granted 4 hours a week, which I've found somebody that will take her to swimming. There's a little pool in her school. So she's going to take her hopefully once a week or once every other week. Take her swimming. She'll only be home like an hour later than usual, because it's just the difference in the bus times. But ideally we wanted it for so me and my husband can have time on our own. We've not been out in 6 months now. That might not sound like a long time, but marriages need that time, don't they? You know, adult time, no kids. And the lady that came round, I was telling her about the things that we're hopefully having done to the house and blah blah blah, and she mentioned excuse me, as Isabel is getting bigger, this is turning into a coughing fit. As Isabel's getting bigger, it'll need 2 people to care for her. So I just looked at her and I said, right, okay, that's fine, but if she's only been allocated 4 hours a week, what does that mean? She said, well, it'll be split between 2 people, so you've got 2 carers, and they'll have 2 hours. So 2 hours a week. What can you do? What can you? And they won't even come out to the house at the moment because the house isn't sorted. So it's just like, and the amount of paperwork and the insurance and I'm not good at that sort of stuff. It unbelievably stresses me out. I'm a really laid back person, but that sort of stuff like unnecessarily stresses me out. So we said that we're going to trial it maybe for a month or 2, see how I feel, see how I get on with the paperwork, see how Isabel's dealing with it. That's the main thing. She might not even enjoy going after school, like being at school all day and then going into the pool at night. She'll be knackered basically. So yeah, it's just going to be trial and error, but that direct payments is definitely off the table for the things that we thought that they might be, and we're going to have to start looking into respite when she's a lot older. I don't feel comfortable now, she's too little. Or even specialist, I don't want to say babysitters, like glorified babysitters, but they know what they're doing with kids like Isabel basically. I'm going to end up filling all these in, aren't I? That was nearly dry, I suppose. But we had the appointment at Alder Hair, so they did all the measuring. Now, I've got to say, she had the day off school, and me and her had a fabulous morning. We went shopping. She was desperate for nearly a whole wardrobe full of clothes. I'd sorted out all of her clothes the previous week, and my mother-in-law took to the charity shop a full bin bag full of clothes, and then a full carrier bag of clothes to Isabel's school for all his children to use. She just had a growth spurt. The long legs and the long arms, you wouldn't believe how tall she is for her age. So yeah, we had a little bit of a shopping trip. So she's got some lovely new clothes now. I've got some adaptive clothes as well from Marks and Spencer's. She's currently wearing one, a little vest, and she seems very comfortable in it. It's like 100% cotton, and it's got like the buttons and everything, just like a baby one, but it's a bigger version, and we really like it. And these cute black, she's got them in black, grey and pink fluid trousers. Oh, they're so cute. They're proper cute. If I could get away with wearing them, which I couldn't because of my body type, they're so cute. Yeah, so we had a good morning shopping. I took her to McDonald's for a dinner, which she was really happy about. And then we did a bit of food shopping, and then we came home. I popped her in a bedroom to watch a DVD, and I needed a break. I needed like a mental break, just to have normal TV on for a little bit, have a cup of tea. I even attempted to sit in my room and colour one of these, and I just couldn't. So I was just like, no, I just need to sit down and just not do anything for a little while, have a cup of tea. And then my husband gets home, and that's when the almighty meltdown began. Because for some reason, she loves going out, loves being out. She hates being put in the car, whether she's coming or going, doesn't matter. She hates it. And the new behaviour recently, with how big she's getting and how strong she is because of the muscle tone, she started scratching. and she caught my husband in his eye, and to say that he was unhappy was an understatement. And then she's screaming and thrusting forward, and you're trying to get into this stupid car seat. Anyway, we got her in, and then she was just a mess. You can imagine, snot, tears, the whole hog. But by the time that we got to Liverpool, Alder Hey Children's Hospital, she'd calmed right down. Happy as Laura, getting her out the wheelchair, getting her out the chair, putting her in a wheelchair. Happy walking through the corridors. Happy waiting, going into the appointment. And we both looked at each other like, what's going on here? What on earth is going on? They did all the measuring, and I mean like to the point where they had her on her stomach with her legs up in the air, and then they'd go like that was a leg. They'd go 1, 2, 3 and move it as quick as they could, and that's what they'd be measuring. So they did all sorts. We was there for about an hour and 40 minutes while they had her on the floor, rolling round, seeing what she was capable of doing, and she was fine. There was a young lad, student there, and she kept stirring him. I'm like, Isabel, stop it, stop it. It was quite funny, but yeah, she was well behaved. The main thing that came out of that appointment, I mean, we're still saying that we're going ahead. She's probably not going to be able to sit up at all after the surgery because she's going to go incredibly floppy. She uses the bad muscle tone to do any of the standing that you might have seen. It's the bad parts in her body that are doing that. And then it's sitting as well, that's the same. Because she's still like frog legs. Imagine like a newborn baby, she still does that. So she's probably not going to be able to do that, but with the intense physio and the hydrotherapy after, and us doing physio at home, which we've been given a programme to start like now, which we need to start tomorrow. We've got 6 different exercises to do, and there's like 5 reps of this and 2 reps of that, and this, that and the other. I've lost my train of thought then. I thought my son was stood at the door, and it's not, it's my cardigan. It's my cardigan. Like I said, the other good thing that came out of that is because she's having this SDI surgery, that just means that she won't have to have the Botox toxin injections in her thighs and her hamstrings anymore. It's like a permanent thing. It's permanent. They have warned us that some kids do go downhill and they don't come back up, but it's not likely. That's what they said. But because she's not got any of these toxins in her body, apart from when she has the Botox in her neck for the saliva and the drooling and stuff, there's a possibility that she might be able to have Botox in her left arm. Now, her left arm is useless. She can't use it. It's pinned to her body. It's tight. It's tight. I mean, like when she's on the floor, like lying watching TV, and Rolo comes to the left hand side, you can see how desperate she is to reach out, and instead of it just being a smooth, you know, I'm just moving my arm, you can see her really struggling. Like, imagine holding a weight and then trying to move your arm. It's a shame. So I was really happy that they said that, but that's obviously going to be way down the line because this is serious spinal surgery that she's having, so we don't want to put her through all this and then the intense physio and everything that we're doing at home, and then make her go back into hospital to have injections in her arms. It's a no-no. So maybe next year, maybe the start of next year. Yes, I don't know, I'll see. Oh, it's absolutely delicious that. I need to go and blow my nose and have a bit of a cough. Yeah, so the third appointment for the day was the new occupational therapist, which I've spoken to a couple of times over the phone, and she seemed dead nice. And I met her today for the first time and we just clicked. She's so funny. She's really easy to talk to. I ended up talking to her about, we was talking about true crime, we was talking about our family past. She was here, I think she got here at about 10 to 2 and she left at 20 to 4, and she was literally just meant to be coming around showing me the plans for the house, and we just got chatting. She was lovely. Her husband's a vicar, and she was telling me about all these ghost story things that she watches on TV. Oh, she's dead funny, and I showed her a collection of true crime books. But anyway, she was telling me about the plans that were drawn up, and it's way too small basically. It would do it for the time being, but then they'd have to come back in so many years to redo the work to make it bigger, so it just needs to be bigger in the first place just to last. So then we was talking about different baths and whether we should put a bath in or a shower. I'm adamant that she needs a bath. She's a girl and she loves having a bath, and I like bathing her because she's dead funny. She's dead funny with water. So I'm adamant that she's having a bath, and she was explaining all these different baths to us. And you can get baths that lift up like on an automated, like a bed does. But she was warning me that because of the pipe work underneath, they're prone to breaking, which I don't like the idea of that, because trying to get somebody to come out and fix it is annoying. Oh yeah, we've had the stair lift put in, and unless I lose about 4 stone, I can't get past the stair lift at the top of the stairs. So it has to be at the top of the stairs when we bring her up, and then in the morning it has to be back down, and then before I take a wheelchair out it needs to be back up again because it's in the way. But it's a temporary thing, and maybe a year or so. It's not forever. I have to crawl underneath it. It's quite funny actually. I'm just waiting for the bruises though. When the bruises start, then I won't be saying it's funny. But the lad that came round, he was only a young lad. He said, I've never seen these chairs before, and he was asking me about Isabel, like what's wrong with her, and just having a natter. I barely see anybody in the daytime, so if anybody comes round to the house, I talk their head off. Even if they're trying to do a job. Do you want a brew? Do you want a biscuit? Just asking about the day. Yes, we were talking about like the house and stuff, and there is a couple of things that we could do. We could take the conservatory down, which I love, but we already know that that was going to happen anyway. Take that down, extend the property at the back, and make Isabel's wet room and bedroom at the back of the house, but then we will lose the back garden, which I don't think is a good idea, considering she likes to be out in the garden in the summer, and so do we, barbecues, and I've got a dog. I've got Rollo Anta, so I don't think it's fair to take over the whole garden. The other thing that we could do is convert Isabel's current bedroom into the wet room, and then push back, and Isabel's bedroom would be the whole of the kitchen. Now if you saw my house vlog, you might have seen that it's a pretty good sized kitchen that I've got, and there is some just like wasted space that I don't actually know what to do with. It's handy like for the wheelchair. We keep the wheelchair and the everyday seat in there at the night time, and I've got a massive maiden that looks like a transformer because I've still not got a dryer, and I'm adamant that I don't want one because of the energy bills. So I don't know where that'll go, but then they're going to have to create a kitchen where the conservatory is, and my husband's worried about that because we won't get much of a say in, you know, what it looks like and how it functions and stuff. So I don't know, it's still all up in the air, but I feel better knowing that it's this lady that's took on the case, and you know, something's actually happening now. So I showed her around the whole of the property, and I showed her like I showed her the bathroom, and we had a specialist seat, and I showed her it, and she just laughed at it. She said, it's stupid that, why have you been given that? Because the bath seat that we've got, we literally have to fill the bathtub all the way to the top, and it won't even come up to Isabel's belly button. So she's cold in the bath, and you have to lean over the toilet to get to her. So you know, it's not ideal. But we've said before, we couldn't have not bought this house that we live in now because of these things. I don't think we would have ever found a house that would have suited us to the T. You know, like really perfect, because you know it's unique situations, and it's just one of them things. It's just one of them things. I swear I've said that so many times today, it's not even funny. Like people asking about, have you got babysitters, do you do this, do you do that? It's like, no, well what can you do? It's just one of them things. It's just one of them things. But I think a lot of positives have come out in the last couple of days. The fact that we found out that the Botox with her arm, the fact that I found out that I've got something wrong with me, the deficiency in the vitamins. I think that was what, do you remember me talking about thinking I was depressed and I was being put on antidepressants and stuff? I stopped taking them about a week and a half ago, because I just didn't feel right taking them. And when you Google the symptoms of the things that this deficiency causes, it's like weight gain, feeling sad and depressed, constantly feeling tired, among other things like joint pain, and there's loads of different symptoms. And I'm just thinking, my God, is it really that? Is it that that's been causing all these issues? And the doctor didn't even like, you know, like, think about it. Instead of saying, right, well, we need to go and get your bloods done and let's test things, it was just, yeah, there you go, antidepressants. Right, I'll be able to start filling this in now. What colour was this one now? A cobalt turquoise. Have another drinky poos. Oh, it's really nice, that. Really nice. So it was these two that I started first, and I'll just, you know, I'll do the rest off camera. Do the rest off camera in my own time. I think I've picked out the paint that I want for this one wall here. I've got 3 swatches on the wall. One of them's more blue than I would have liked, and the middle one is too dark. So I think I've decided what colour that I want. It's sort of like an eggshell colour almost. I want to go over the van with this as well, why not? So Danny's going to go to B&Q tomorrow. He's going to pick up the paint and all the trays and brushes that I'll need. I'm going to prep the room over the weekend, like move furniture, masking tape it all up and just get the carpet prepped, make sure it's all covered. And then come Monday morning, as soon as Isabel's in school, I can crack on. Because I do think it'll take me a while. It's definitely not a small wall. But I'm really excited to move Drogon. One of my lovely subscribers commented, and I didn't even think about doing this, putting Drogon, instead of him being the, excuse me, the side behind me. I was just about to say, I feel like I'm constantly burping because of that cider. Anyway, the cabinet behind me, putting it on the wall there, and it'll catch the light really nicely because of the window. Why did I not think of that? Why did I not think of that? So yeah, Drogon's going to go behind me with all my Daenerys pictures, along with the Fire and Blood Game of Thrones flag. And then this wall, I'm going to put a pegboard up in the middle of it. So I'm going to IKEA tomorrow. We're all having a family trip out. Well, family trip out, there's no way Lewis will go. My teenage son, there's no way he'll want to come to IKEA with us. And he wants me to pick him a shelf up because he started collecting like his manga figurines and stuff. Pays for him with his own money as well. Yeah, so the pegboard will go there, and I'm not necessarily going to use, I'm not going to say that it's not going to be functional. I just want it there to put some of like my pretty stuff, like my pretty paints and the stuff that I don't use on a regular basis, because I think it'll get really irritating having it up there because I'll have to stand up every time. And I know that's really a small thing to whinge about, but I just want it looking pretty. I want it looking like an art room. So if I have Game of Thrones on that side and I bunch up all the rest of the artwork on the other side and sort of leave this area as plain as I can get it, like the family pictures, I should get frames, some matching frames, and then that'll look a bit nicer on the wall. But yeah, I'm looking forward to doing it. I quite enjoy doing painting. When I painted all the conservatory by myself, and I was really proud. It's a really big sense of accomplishment when you do something like that, and it takes you quite a while. And I was really proud of myself that I managed to do it. So I want to do it again. Right, I think I am going to have to end the video here because my other video is having some sort of issue with the laptop is flashing. I was having problems with my laptop 2 weeks ago. I was nearly to the point chucking it through the window and asking Louis to borrow his because it was not working at all. It weren't exporting anything. I couldn't get the footage over. I ended up having to delete my editing app and re-download an older version of it. It was a whole ordeal, and I got really upset about it. I was like, I sat downstairs to Danny when I can't do my YouTube. I can't do any of my videos. And I was ranting as well to my friends, you know, like you do. But yeah, like I said, tomorrow, IKEA, painting, getting my room restarted, because I'm still not overly happy with it and I don't want to clutter it up too much. I know I've got all these Game of Thrones stuff, but I do love them. And I think it just needs organising slightly better. Do you not think as well, when you organise things, you just feel like nice and fresh? And did all Isabel's clothes the other day, I did the medicine cupboard, did Isabel's medicine cupboard, like sorted it, like the nappies under her bed. I was just like, yes, yes, but let's see how long that lasts. Let's see how long that lasts, because it never lasts that long, and give it a month or two and I'll be doing it all again. But thank you so much for watching. So I'm probably not going to be able to film now for the rest of the weekend, busy. And then Monday I'm going to be painting. I might do a little video of like well, it depends what mood I'm in. It depends what mood I'm in. It depends how my daughter slept. But I could always do like a before, during and after. That might be quite fun, that, actually, to do that. So let me know in the comments, because I think I'll be uploading this video tomorrow. So I'll be able to read your comments before Monday. So let me know. I'm sure I said it as well, it's a Hannah Calzone boot this, and I've used the Faber-Castell Albert Durant pencils, and I love them. I love them. Well, thank you so much for watching. Please do take care of yourself, and I will see you in my next video. Bye.